don't want that you gone talking junk.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, they don't
And
anything.
then saying fault. Alright guys. You're doing well. Batting good, man. You need to get closer to the one that are you gonna let this
Okay, good night. Back on stream and firing on all cylinders. The Trident 10 production team in association with the Barbados Football Association here at the Wildy Turf, St. Michael, Barbados. Second half action coming up. It is Marks Auto Spares, POREY Spring FC 0, BDS Sports Program 4. The BDF would have last tasted that sweet taste of silverware, winning the Premier League in 2013, 2014 and 2015, on course to clash with the defending champions Weymouth Wales as they continue in this vein of form. They're 4-0 up over POREY Spring at half-time, and it'll take a brave man to bet against them, getting all 3 points here this evening and putting that 6-point gap between themselves and second place Empire Club, the Mighty Blues from Bank Hall. As I say, good evening to my co-commentator. We've made a switch, folks, to the younger, I'm not saying better looking, but the younger Nicholas Maitland. Good night to you, Nicholas.
Good night, sir. Good night to all the viewers and everyone. You may have recognized me or remember me from earlier, but here, just holding on for a little bit, or maybe a while. But I think it's been a great first half so far. BDF been very clinical. Omani Leacock in particular looks very up for it. Dazzling footwork has gotten him through there, I think, no less than 3 times. So, yeah, it would take a brave man to bet against BDF. But I guess the only bet we can make is maybe how many they will score this evening.
All right, so we've made the switch. The teams have made the switch as well. POREY Spring in the orange jerseys, blue shorts and orange socks, going from left to right this evening. Thank you, production team. There's the classified halftime score. BDS Sports Program 4, POREY Spring 0. And the BDS Sports Program in the brand new strip, only a couple games old. All green this evening. It's a darker green shirt, darker green socks, and a lighter green shorts. And green means go for them, for Nicholas. They're 4-0 up. POREY Spring man is on the surface. That's a little bit of a worry for them. Dante Monroe is his name. And with one of their star players that plays up front, creating chances for Shaquille Stewart. If he isn't good to go, that could be a good omen for the BDS Sports Program to get another one. He's up and moving, a bit gingerly at that. But after 46 minutes, the BDF continue to press and probe. POREY Spring looking to get something out of this game.
That was a good point you made, Trev, regarding the importance of that particular player. And I think that's what separates POREY Spring from the main title contenders like BDF and UE. A real lack of depth when you consider your quality players. I just saw for BDF they have Rashid Williams warming up. He's come on and scored a few winners this season. So they have players on the bench that they can bring on that can change the game. Whereas POREY Springs, their main game changers are already on the pitch. So you don't want to lose them. And as I said, that's the advantage that BDF have. Even at 4-0 down, they can take off 2 of their main players and substitute them.
Well, that's for sure. Easy pickings on a Sunday evening for Barbados number 2, Kishma Primus. Plucks that one out of the air and starts the ball rolling down the BDS Sports Program right. That's a leading ball into danger man Omani Leacock. Tempted sombrero, didn't work out too well, but still has the skill to twist and turn, shake and bake on that right hand side. Ball cut across the 18-yard box, 47.5. Out comes goalkeeper Ryan Hope, collects cleanly and ushers his team up the field, heading for 48 minutes. And still no real openings for the St. Thomas-based POREY Spring. What we can say is in the BDS Sports Program last 3 matches against POREY Spring Football Club, matches played 3, matches won 3. This is the BDF we're speaking about. Draws 0, losses nil. Goes for 10 goals against just the one. The player who scored for St. Thomas Bay's POREY Spring is not even on the pitch. That's Joe Moore Haywood. And for the BDF, Akeem Hill, who's playing here this evening, has 3 against POREY Spring in the last couple of seasons. Omani Leacock has 2 from the past, and he's blasted 2 this evening as well. That's 4. He's the leading marksman for the BDF sports program against POREY Spring, and they've been 1 goal each. In fact, 2 for Tashane Lord. He has 1 from in the past and 1 this evening. Raheem Sargent with 1, and Jelani Keizer has also scored against POREY Spring. Ex-players, Kyle Gibson, who plays for Dames, he scored 1, and ex-player Shaquille Boyce, who plays for Wales, has also scored 1 against the POREY Spring team when they were playing for the BDF sports program. So there's a few statistics for you folks. At present, current score, BDF sports program 4, Marks Orders Players, POREY Spring 0.
I don't want to say POREY Springs have been whipping boys when it comes to their encounters with BDF, with the soldiers, but it seems that way according to the statistics, of course, and many goal scorers as well for BDF. And I think that's what they have another advantage, not just considering the depth and the quality, but also the fact that they have so many goal scorers. And you can have a game with BDF score 6 and have 5 or 6 different goal scorers. So that's something that they have, and something that all the teams, I think, should emulate as they go on. I think it's a little too close to the end of the season for any teams to really change how they play and change the personnel around. But that's certainly something for next season, and certainly something that Coach Howell will look to improve on, because I think every year they lose players as well. So I think that's something that he will look to improve on for next season as well. And hopefully they will hope that they can end this season with a championship.
Yes, for sure. When POREY Spring were welcomed into the Premier League in 2018, their first encounter against the BDF was a 5-0 spanking. BDF 5, Marks Orders Players, POREY Spring 0, followed by the return leg, 4-1 in the May matchup as well.
I think that's 3 different scorers there.
Yeah, definitely so. And as you can see here, even although POREY Spring put up a good fight in late 2018 in that first round encounter, it was the BDF with a Jelani Keizer finish on 26 minutes, making it 1-0. So the stats will show. They don't lie. As you said, there's so many men that can finish for the BDF sports program that for any opposition, including the defending champions Wales and UWA Blackbirds and a few of the others, you just don't know who's going to put the ball into the back of the net. So many danger men and so many very fit and physical players as well. It's difficult to stop them from getting the ball into the net. So what you have to do is you can allow for that, but basically you need to hurt them where they need to be hurt as well. And it can be done, but what it takes is a brave team to believe in their own philosophy, which is not playing at the pace that the BDF play at. It is a more skillful game and possession game. And if you can do that, I've seen Dames do it in the past. I've seen Empire do it. I've seen UWA Blackbirds do it. But lots of teams tend to shirk, or the philosophy says, let's just pack men behind the ball and hopefully we'll get a result. But that don't work for the BDF. You'd be a lot more technical and tactical. And of course, you have to have the caliber of player in your team that can continue to play those nice little passes and give the BDF some problems. And if you have that in your team and the philosophy to go with it, you can get a result.
For sure.
But there aren't very many teams that can do that.
For sure. And I was thinking when the score was about 2 or 3-0 that POREY Spring were playing so slow and not really looking like a team that wanted to get back into the game. And if you can't play against the soldiers and play to their pace, because we know that how the soldiers train, that they're one of the fitter teams. So you can't play to their pace. You have to play a different game. So if they're playing a quick game, trying to get down the channels, try to stay inside and build up your passes and try to win the midfield battle. So you just have to combat what the soldiers doing with something else. But it requires quickness of thought and quickness of movement. And POREY Spring haven't been on it in the first half. So still a good lot of minutes left in this second half. Just under 40 to really bring some semblance of hope back to the score line. But it's going to look very difficult with BDF now, changing the game plan and looking to keep the ball now.
Yes, for sure. I think they're looking to put the foot on the gas and get a couple more goals and really demoralize any thought that the St. Thomas Bay's POREY Spring have of getting back into this game. Have a chance down the left-hand side now. This is quality cross. No, it isn't. This doesn't have the quality to trouble Kishmar Primus, who just grabs it with both hands and then dispatches the 60-yarder down the field. POREY Spring intelligent enough to get back in numbers and win possession, only to give it away to Danger Man Sargent over the head of one defender there, bringing the likes of Omani Leacock, who goes one-on-one this time around with Lindell Sandyford. Clean pair of heels, ball cut across the box, finished, goal! 54 on the clock. The magician is in the house. No, it's not David Copperfield, it's Tashane Lord with the left foot finish from 6 yards. 54 minutes on the clock. BDF Sports Program 5. Marks Auto Spears POREY Spring 0. Nicholas.
That is what we were saying. We were talking about all the goal scorers that BDF have, and there again, we had someone similar in the build-up, which was Omani Leacock. He's been a live wire all game, but someone else popping up with a goal to Shane Lord. So that's Sergeant Lord and Kamal Thompson, 3 different goal scorers, 5-0, and it's so hard to stop BDF when they're in this mood. And I think POREY Spring, it's not over yet, because I don't want to condemn them to defeat, but certainly it's a very, very long way back from here.
Yeah, definitely so. The BDF are never really at, doesn't seem to be they're ever at cruising space, especially like between minute 1 and minute 60 to 75. I find they don't ever shut off or close down. The turbo still continues to work, and this is only 55 minutes in, and you can see the game went from a steady pace to a very, very quick one there.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Omani Leacock slow, and then he went very quickly down the line. He took out his man, he delivered the pass, and of course the sprint from Tashane Lord was unmarkable, could not pick him up. And once you arrive there, it's just cool, calm, deep breath, left foot finish, everything's over. So
that's the tactic, take a deep breath before you shoot.
If you can get that into your philosophy, you when you make the move, then you're into it in a solid way. The ball comes in, you compose yourself, and you say to yourself, which technique do I use to get this ball past the keeper? All that happens in a split second, and only certain types of players have that. Those are ace strikers, the likes of Tashane Lord and Omani Leacock. Here's the ball trying to get it floated across the far side, finds Stewart, who's too deep and needs to be in the 18-yard box to finish off these moves. Thank you very much to Nicholas as we make that little swap and a change here. One of the youngest commentators coming in for one of the more mature ones, and Keith Grell Griffith. Didn't say old Keith, I said mature, and of course very wise, like those wise men in the Bible, of course. 55 and a half, in fact almost 56 on the clock, and you've left us, Keith, and the BF has presented us with an Easter gift, and it is the 5-0 thrashing at this point of St. Thomas based Marks Auto Space POREY Spring on 56 minutes.
Well, let me thank Maitland first, because I went over to Starcom as promised to say goodnight to the fans and wish them well, and surely also extended your regards to the fans, Trevor, and to say thanks very much. And while I was about to put the mic down, it was Lord who made it 5-0, and I'm wondering if the 8 goals I predicted will come true, because at the moment BDF rampant, raging, and surely dominating the lead on the night by 5-0, emphatic style. And I listened to your comments there to Maitland. Only certain players are able to score goals of that magnitude, and you were in that ascendancy. Goal number 6, no, they missed it. That was their best opportunity for the night, POREY Spring. The player ended up in the back of the net. So how did he miss that, Trevor?
Well, it came through a pack of players there, Keith. He tried to get to it, but again, the technique may not have been right. He raised his foot in the air, and instead of keeping his foot on the surface, the ball passed just above, underneath his foot. So if he had kept his foot on the surface, knowing that we are dealing with a true surface, the ball would have probably collected on the right part of his instep or the inside of his boot and cannoned into the back of the nets. But as I said, he raised his foot a bit, thinking that it was some type of volley that was coming for a finish, and it never really was. And the score remains BDF Sports Program 5, Marks Auto Space POREY Spring 0.
Well, Trevor, I'm certain that BDF Sports Program would have conceded then, but the ball ran agonizingly close to going into the back of the nets and just going wide. But for all of those fans who following us on Trident 10, Barbados doing very well at the Carifta Games, winning 2 gold medals moments ago. And would you believe, Trevor, Ramon Griffith got a gold medal? So the Griffiths have been spoken about tonight in many different terms, but let us give those praises and kudos to those Bajan athletes who have done very well at the Carifta Games. Here, BDF Sports Program continues to impress. Surely, POREY Spring need a goal to take back to St. Thomas.
They need something. I think they need a real comeback here. It's almost impossible for it to happen the way they're playing. Not playing at with the intensity of a team that would want to get 5. Not moving fast enough. Not connecting the passes as well as the BDF are, for sure. And with the game heavily tipped in the favour of a BDF Sports Program victory, especially with the likes of Tashane Lord, who's been ruthless up front with goals on 25 and 54 minutes, as well as the Omani Leacock Show, his brace on 17 and 43, not even to mention the Kamal Thompson first goal on 10 minutes, which opened the floodgates. The BDF in rampant form. Not sure what POREY Spring can do to get this right. Here's Arthur down the left-hand side.
Well, at the moment, still BDF going forward, looking for goal number 6. The ball has been run into touch on some different news, Trevor.
No, I believe that's another player that's joined the POREY Spring squad. That's Damian Thornton wearing number 17, being pointed out there by our colleague on Starcom Network, Hot 95, Martin Paris. That's the little toe poke, comes off, and here's Tashane Lord looking to flick it past the keeper, flick it and then get it on the reverse keep and then finish it. He got taken out by some good defensive work by Ryan Hope, the goalkeeper. He was looking for a penalty, but he was never going to get it there because there was no real connection on 60 minutes, and the score remains BDF Sports Program 5, Marks Auto Spares POREY Spring 0.
And that would have been a hat trick for Lord, correct?
Definitely would be.
Yeah, he and Leacock both looking for hat tricks. POREY Spring knowing fully well that their position in the league is not very good, and they will have to go the route of playoff if they're to maintain Premier League status. Like we said earlier, and I want to repeat again, Wotton out of Christchurch and Deacon's Farm out of Black Rock are expected to play in the Premiership next season. Let's say happy Easter to all of their fans and the players. Celebrations to come soon as they will don their colors here at the turf. And when you talk about Deacons, I remember only 2 years ago, their young team in the under-17 Sports Council program, they won the championship and went off to Trinidad. So good developmental stuff coming out of the Deacons area, Trevor. And hopefully, if they come up and play well, they will remain in the Premiership because they can be a very exciting team on any given night. And Wotton, walking in the footsteps of their neighbours, Gall Hill, would want to represent proudly, and surely they must feel that they're going to do justice to the Premiership coming in for the first time. And whosoever should gain the other playoff spot, at the moment it seems to be between Silver Sands and Black Spurs. Black Spurs long ago, even when it was playing, Trevor, Black Spurs was a top team in Division 1. Silver Sands, for whatever reason, always seem to bounce and come to the top. And then for, like I said, whatever reason, they don't seem capable at times of maintaining their position, even though they had players in the past like Soup Level, etc., etc. But let's wish all the teams well. And here, POREY Spring, you need a goal to take back to St. Thomas. 5-0 the scoreline. BDF Sports Program 5, POREY Spring 0.
So substitution for the BDF Sports Program. Antonio Arthur off on 62. He's been replaced by Stefan Elliott, number 32, on 62 minutes.
Well, POREY Spring wearing the colors of a former very good team, my hometown team, Beverly Hills, Tangerine and Black. So they would need to wear these colors proudly if they want to maintain premiership status. BDF, though, looking to win the championship. They're leading their zone comfortably. And should they win, they will go, like Trevor said earlier, they will have a 6-point advantage on Empire, who has a game in hand. But it is about the points. POREY Spring looking to get goal number 1, and they have Trevor. I could have bought the lotto today. I don't play lotto, but I could have bought it. That is 6 of the 8 goals I predicted. So POREY Spring will be able to go back to St. Thomas at least with their head not bowed down, but proudly up. They have scored a goal on the top team, BDF Sports Program. BDF Sports Program 5, POREY Spring 1.
Well, if you do not succeed, try again, Keith, is the motto here. They've been able to do that this evening, and they have their first of the evening. Can they increase? Is what I'm talking about. A comeback king, comeback team. Can they do it? We'll wait and see. But surely, at present, the classified score at this point in time is BDF Sports Program 5, POREY Spring 1.
Well, let us say that at least they've shown a little character and get another goal. But here we go with BDF. This is another goal for them. Good goalkeeping from Hope. A leading through ball, Pearson searching and trying to find. But Hope intelligently came off the goal line, averted the danger, played the ball into touch. But that was good goalkeeping, Trevor, from Hope.
Yeah, good stuff. Reading the game very well there, and timing to perfection as he came off the line to clear and avert the danger.
Well, you know, not a smile on any of the BDF players. They want to get 6. They did not want to concede a goal, but they have. And I know they'll be pushing now to get 2 more goals to go forward again with Lord. He will try to weave a web past the defenders. He cuts inside, the ball follows him. He did not even know where the ball was. But in the end, his cross, not a good one. Danger averted. And they will try again down the right attacking side of midfield. Corner to BDF Sports Program. Wow. In fact, it came off the BDF player last, and it's a goal kick. But Trevor, with your eyes a lot younger than my eyes, the moon has changed considerably. What kind of moon would you call it now at this stage?
Well, I still think it's a bit of a misty moon though, Keith, because as you can see, the top pieces, it's quite evident that is missing at this point in time. So it's not a full moon, and therefore I think it's being covered by a little bit of a cloudy situation there.
Are you an astrologist?
Yeah, studied the stars a bit, sir.
Well, that is very, very good.
I can tell you about the 7 sisters.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes,
that's incredible. Congratulations.
Star of Orion and so on. And the Southern Star, I can tell you about those things. I did a little bit of astronomy, but not to the degree where it could be labeled an astronomer. So 67 on the clock.
Well, I'm not familiar, and I need to ask that quickly for personal reasons. You said with the Masters tournament beginning in June, what age you have to be to play in the tournament?
2 categories. There's over 40s and over 50s. And
oh, okay.
Yeah, you must hit those brackets by the 31st of December this year. You must be over 40 or over 50.
And the present champions?
Well, remember this is a brand new tournament, so there is no present.
Oh, okay.
It's brand new. Everybody starts with an equal slate.
Okay. How many overseas-based teams so far you're expecting?
Well, we still have registration for them, which is ongoing. So I'd rather not commit myself to that at this point in time. But within the coming weeks, we'll get all that information as well.
Thank you very much. So Nobby Paris, who just messaged us, I believe he'll be playing in that tournament. Nobby, I have to give you some tips. Please contact me as soon as possible. All in jest, my friend. Have a good Easter night. and make sure you get it right in the Masters tournament. At the moment, though, POREY Spring, they trail by 1-5. The ball down the left side. Trevor, it has been a very interesting night of football with lots of goals.
Yeah, definitely so. Still haven't gotten to the 8 that you would have predicted yet this evening, but we still have time.
Lots of time.
But what we do have is the facts that the referee this evening is Mr. Troy Thorpe, ably assisted by first assistant Clifton Garns on the near side. On the far side, where the ball is located, there's a gent by the name of Elvis Williams, and of course the fourth official down below us is Mr. Etley Malcolm, and the referee assessor for this particular matchup, Mr. Andrew Belgrave, on the second floor just above us.
Well, you won't need a lot of assessing. The game has been mostly quiet and clean. The players respecting each other. No one really going over anyone's foot, so to speak, with any dangerous foul play so far. POREY Spring pressing down the right. They've won a throw-in by the right-hand side. The corner flag to the right. They take it quickly. Danger here for the BF momentarily. Can he get his pass? And he does. Good cross coming in. Chance for POREY Spring to get goal number 2. But BDF strong as ever at the back. Holding tight. Ball again down the right. POREY Spring moving swiftly. Cut the ball across here. That should be easy pickups for Primus. 5-1 the scoreline. Good football from POREY Spring. And now BDF looking to counter-attack on the right attacking side. They've won a free kick.
So they've stepped at the pace a bit, Keith, since they've scored on 62 minutes. And this last 7 or so minutes, we've seen a much more enterprising effort from the gents from St. Thomas, known as Marks Auto Spares POREY Spring. Getting the passes to go, with more precision to the unmarked man, and then get those one-on-ones in and around the 18-yard box to create the chances, which is what BDF have been doing for all of 60-odd minutes. And we've now seen POREY Spring taking a leaf out of BDF Sports Program book, isolating one-on-one, using the skill to get past the player, and then create the chance for the men up front.
Well, I don't only want them to mark one-on-one. I want both POREY Spring and Youth Milan, based on their performances tonight, to really get it right and let us get some purity products with their breakfast and at night before they go to sleep, when they're going to have a hot chocolate or a cup of tea. Let's get the purity brand and make sure that they are in good nick with cassava, fiber, salt bread, sandwich loaves, and all-rounders, to make sure that they have the nutritious stuff from Purity. At the moment, though, Trevor has had to move away momentarily. It's POREY Spring going far down the left-hand side of midfield. The ball played down the left. Can they get it right? Good defensive cover, but they've given away a free kick. 71 minutes gone. POREY Spring 1, BDF Sports Program 5. Everything seemed to be in the BDF favor at the moment. They're pulling the strings. They're running the game the way they want to. POREY Spring have pulled a goal back and will be looking to get goal number 2. We roll into the 72nd minute, and Trevor will bring you up to date with all the information statistically in a moment, because next weekend there wouldn't be any premiership, but there will be the knockout matches being played. Good ball in the area, ball headed away and into touch. Trevor seemingly ready to play in the Masters. He moved majestically and quickly off his feet, the same way he used to score goals many years ago. A magnificently taken goal against Grenada sent Barbados through to the CFU finals in 1994. Unfortunately for him, when Barbados seemed destined and ready to advance to the next round, he missed a cracking penalty against Dominica. Was that the first penalty you missed at that level, Trev?
In life.
in life. And I was his coach. I forgive him for that because that was a big moment for us. But he had played well, then he got injured.
It hit the upright though, Keith. That's what I can say about it. It hit the upright and came back. Now,
there you put me in now to my tactical brain because there's no forgiveness for hitting the upright. Anyhow,
want to be so precise.
Yeah, that was all in jest.
Couple of inches off.
But Trevor was a fantastic striker for Empire and Barbados and scored lots and lots of goals. At the moment, BDF Sports Program leading by 5-1. The ball with Jason Lovey. He plays it down the left. They go roll forward again. Can they conjure up a 6th goal? We wait to see. Leading ball. The winners for the night seem destined to be BDF. And POREY Spring, since they have scored that goal, are trying desperately to deny them the next one. So it's back to Trevor with the running commentary. 73.5 minutes gone. BDF Sports Program lead by 5-1.
So confirmation then on the goal scorer for the Marks Auto Spears POREY Spring. It is substitute Damien Thornton coming on in the second half and then making his presence felt with that finish from the center of the goal under goalkeeper Kishmar Primus, the 21-year-old. The baby had a birthday not too long ago, and therefore POREY Spring at least having one of your requests, Keith, one of your requests made. You said you wanted a goal from them, and he definitely put his name on the score sheet for both himself, that's Damien Thornton, and the Marks Auto Spears POREY Spring team. At present, 5-1, the BDS Sports Program with the lead. 75 minutes on the clock, and you're watching Trident 10's coverage of the 2018-2019 Barbados Football Association's Premier League. The triple header on Sunday 21st of April, Easter Sunday, and therefore the classified results for both Saturday and Sunday go a bit like this. Weymouth Wales 2, Scottish Car Rental St Andrew Lions 0, Empire Club 3, Clayton Scolatonic Notre Dame 1, Crane and Equipment Limited Ellerton FC 0, Britain's Hill United FC 0, RBC Capital Markets Barbados Soccer Academy 0, Paradise FC 8, UWI Blackbirds 6, Youth Milan FC 2, and at present, with 76 minutes on the clock, the BDS Sports Program 5, Marks Auto Spears POREY Spring 1.
Well, Trevor, all the information you can pass on, you have done so. And shortly, I'll be calling some of the best strikers Barbados have produced over the years, and you, the fans, can decide. And next week, when you're messaging, then you can say who you believe will be the 3 best strikers of all time in Barbados. I'll give you some names. If I miss any name, it don't mean that I don't respect that person. It's just that I can't remember all. So we will begin. I saw Martin Paris putting up his hands, and I'll give him kudos for being so brave to do that. Some of those strikers, obviously, Jerry Goddard, Peter Vicious-Alkins, Llewellyn Riley, Trevor Thorne, who is sitting next to me, not because he's sitting next to me, but his record was sure that. Anthony Piano Prescott, Jeffrey Specky Bryan, DeLacy Burrows, Patrick Potty Hewitt, Peter Woody Haynes, Camille Lawton Ramsey, and there may be a few more to come. But from that number that I've called, plus any one name who you believe is an outstanding striker, John Chandler from Carlton, when he played striker, name your 3 best strikers and send them to Trevor's good statistical information so we can discuss it next weekend. So lots of food for thought. Jerry Goddard, Peter Vicious-Alkins, Trevor Thorne, Llewellyn Riley, Piano Prescott, Jeffrey Bryan, DeLacy Burrows, Patrick Hewitt, Peter Woody Haynes, Camille Ramsey, John Chandler, and a few more that I may give you before we conclude. But Trevor, that should be interesting food for thought. and see who the fans select as the 3 best strikers of all time. Those are not the only ones, like I said, but off the top of my head, they came quickly, and I mentioned them. Strikers meaning players who played in the old-time era of centre forward, and since then, goal scorers or strikers. And remember, to be a good striker, you have to score goals.
And plenty of them too. Wow.
Well, and I must include one of the young strikers. Well, he's not young at his age anymore, but over the last couple of seasons, he has been a prolific scorer in local football, Mario Hart.
Yes, as you said, Keith, it's not an easy task, because in the modern day of football, there's quite a few prolific men as well. If it started now, then it would never end. Within the last, as I said, those are ones within the last 20 to 30 years or so, and within the last 10, there's been quite a few good ones as well. Here we have the BDF Sports Program looking to increase the lead, but instead Ryan Hope gets a hold of it and is able to deliver a left-handed throw down the field. The BDF continue to press with Rashawn Kelman wearing 17 inside this time to substitute Rashid Williams. It's a far post ball with the right foot volley, and we have a 6 for the BDF. Stefan Elliott on 80 minutes makes it BDF Sports Program 6, Marks Auto Spears, POREY Spring 1.
There we go, Trevor. Just one away from the 8 I predicted. 7-1 will be the scoreline BDF are looking for to make it 8. Again, POREY Spring right open at the back. And all he had to do is side foot the ball into the back of the nets. At the moment I said that, another striker came to my mind, or two. They played as a duo for Pinelands, Michael Sandman Hayward and Wayne O'Neill. 2 good strikers, but surely at the moment, BDF Sports Program scoring goals for fun as they lead 6-1 on the night, Trevor. And how many goals they have scored now for the season?
Well, before I give you that one, I'll give you Stefan Elliott, a BDF man being used as a substitute for quite some time now. And this time around, he's been able to score his very first goal of the 2018-29 Premier League to make the BDF move to 6-1 against POREY Spring on the night. So congratulations, Mr. Elliott. First goal of your Premier League season, and what a way to get it as well.
Well, if I didn't mention another striker, he's a coach now. He coached Wales last 2 seasons, and now he's coaching Notre Dame. He was a prolific goal scorer, also David Ward. So I would have to mention him because he scored goal after goal at both youth and senior level. I'm not talking about players who played, say, in the midfield or wide on the flanks, because there's so much of them, I mean, simply pointers. At the moment, though, BDF pointing to their 7th goal as they lead 6-1 on the night.
All right, they're up to 68 for the season, Keith. That's
68.
That's the BDF Sports Program. Have scored 68 goals for the season and conceded 16.
But Trevor, you would have to work over the next couple of days and go back into all your stats and see if any team have ever scored 68 goals in a season. Off the top of my head, I can't remember that for sure. Wales used to score lots of goals, Everton, Notre Dame, but 68 goals, Trev? Lots of goals.
Yeah, we do have additional matches here though, Keith, so it's not quite as it was in previous seasons where we have the new format.
Right.
And they're playing, teams in Zone 1 are playing teams in their own zone and still playing teams in the other zone twice. So you play teams in your own zone twice and all the teams in the other zone twice as well. It wasn't that way last year. So it's not easy to make that comparison by just looking at numbers because you're throwing another aspect of the game into it.
That is correct. But 68 goals
is
incredible.
Is incredible. It's the first set of goals too. What I can do is do a hop, skip, and a jump into Commentator Sports Incorporated stats And you can see,
If this is goal 69,
I can see, instantly you can see, kind of like what's the most amount of goals that's been scored over a whole season, blah, blah, blah. You can actually go down that line as well. But as I said, you wouldn't necessarily be comparing
no,
apples with apples straight, that in a straight sense of the word.
that is true.
What we can do, we can jump in just to give you a rough reference then. Let's go back to somewhere looking like 2013 when the BDS Sports program won the title, having scored 50.
Wow.
Good, there we go. Hop, skip, and a jump into 2016. The winning team, the BDS Sports program, won the title with 54.
So they have always been scoring lots and lots of goals. That is...
Yeah, 2015 dropped short on 48. This is regular season goals, of course. We go to 2016. Yeah, I think we should hop in, skip and jump and go in that. UWA Blackbirds, when they won the title, 80 goals, Keith. So we're getting up there. That's when UWA were at their maximum, with the likes of Jairo Lombardo and Hart pointing that attack and really mesmerizing all opposition, including the BDS Sports program and Weymouth Wales and Paradise and Rendezvous FC and so on. All of that was happening at that time. In 2017, 51 goals by the defending champions Neighbourhood Care Pharmacy Weymouth Wales. That's when they had that name, that tagline added on to their name. 2017, as you know, we then started to do the two-zone situation and things of that nature. So that's a different kettle of fish altogether. So don't want to get too much into that one.
Don't get caught up. But you just mentioned something, and another name came to my mind. Another prolific scorer who you would know very well, Jerry Alexander.
Ooh.
He scored lots of goals also. So the names just will come back as we go along.
Yeah.
But it's your choice to message and let Trevor know who you believe is the three best strikers of all time Barbados have produced. Most fans believe that Jerry Goddard is the best. As a former Wales captain and coach, I will say no more, but it's your choice to decide who you believe is the three best you've seen of all time. And obviously, too, Trevor, different people for different eras. So persons who would have seen Camille Lawton, Ramsey, and the Lacey Burrows may not have seen you.
Yeah.
So I just want an idea of what the Belgian public thinks about these prolific goal scorers. At the moment, POREY Spring looking to get goal number 2 to make it 8 goals on the night. Unfortunately, not a good cross, and in the end, cut out at the back.
Yeah, Damien Thornton has been a live wire for Mark's Auto Spares POREY Spring. We're number 11 this evening, coming on as a second half sub and injecting the pace and the guile down the right-hand side for POREY Spring. Here comes Rashid Williams. Couple of step overs, and he's been engaged by Lindell Sandiford, I believe, who stuck his right boot out and put the ball over the touchline. Sendo's most goals men, Keith. Your love of most goals, the top 3. Send them to email address trevorthorneukbarbados@gmail.com, and we will read them out tomorrow. Read them out next week for you. Have a little fun, as you say, and keep people interested in all those top strikers of the past. That's a defensive tactic. The right foot shot, in fact, the left foot shot coming in. Ball charged down. Kelman can't reach it, and the ball all the way back to Damien Thornton, who prods it back into his defense. Immediately, Ronaldo Hunt gets rid of it, and POREY Spring looking really good, Keith. But in the final minutes, perhaps a case of too little, too late from the POREY Spring lads, as they now take the game to the BDS Sports program. But they're already 6 goals to 1 leaders in this one. There'll be no coming back really for POREY Spring from here. The BDF looking to float one far side. So yes, send those your top 3 goal scorers of all time, Barbadian goal scorers, to trevorthorneukbarbados@gmail.com, and I will bring those results to the viewing publics. I want to say thank you to my sponsors, Results Auto Shop, for all your automobile accessories, with locations at White Park Road 429-4890 and Market Hill St George 228-2728. Results Auto Shop, celebrating their 20th anniversary with attractive prices at both stores. Give them a call, both at White Park Road and Market Hill St George.
Well, do you have those matches for next Sunday, Trevor, the knockout matches? Because it would be interesting to hear the matchups for next Sunday.
We'll head on over to the BFA website, and of course, if you need more clarification, you can tune in to the penalty spot program that goes on VOB 92.9 FM on Monday nights 6:15 to 7:15, and of course that's sponsored by the Barbados Football Association, and also sponsored by the Barbados Football Association and the Thornhills Football Fiesta on Thursday nights. 94.7 FM is the dial, and the Thornhill is the host, and of course that one's known as Football Fiesta, and that is 6 p.m. till very close to 7:30 p.m. on Thursday evening. You'll get all the fixtures from there. I'll try to verify them for you before we go off air this evening. That's the knockout tournament. Will be up and running next week, and therefore you would want to know those fixtures. We hopefully will be able to supply them before we go off air this evening.
Well, let's welcome back Wales, who played last night. They reached the semi-final round only to be knocked out by the champions in the end, Robin Hood out of Suriname. So welcome back home, guys. Hope you'll do better. But here comes chance for goal number 7. Goal number 8, he's hit it wide. So obviously my prediction will not come true.
Well,
he looked destined to score, Trevor.
And it's Sargent. It's normally a very safe pair of feet, Keith. No matter where it lands, left or right, he normally will finish from 18 yards or just inside the 18-yard box. But tonight, he's more set-up man rather than a finishing man. A man that's finished very well this evening is Tashane Lord. Omari Leacock with a brace, Lord with a brace as well, with goals from Kamal Thompson and Stefan Elliott. I'm leaning towards Tashane Lord for a man of the match performance, Keith. Look at this here, look. This is the dribble. Oh, he's dribbled himself in the process on 89 minutes, but he's been a live wire.
Yeah, he tried to do a little too much on that occasion. He should have put the ball inside the area, but surely he has had a good game, and one must respect the fact that he is a very useful player, and hopefully he will go on to do even better. BDF still searching for this final goal here. There it is. And Trevor, give me a knock. I told you we will have it.
It's the man himself as well. If you don't succeed, try again.
That is Lord?
No, that's not Lord. That's his Raheem
Sargent.
Sargent.
Oh,
yes.
Sargent, who missed just now. Yeah,
Sargent,
number 19.
Yeah, the national player.
So I predicted correctly. We'll be in for a hat trick of goals on the seas tonight. And that, to me, was good finishing from Sargent. He went right through POREY Spring defense. POREY Spring, we wish you well in the future, but you would have to reel and come again. No disrespect, but you're heading towards another defeat. 7-1 at the moment. BDS Sports Program continues to impress.
They certainly do. 7-1 on the night. And of course, Sargent with his 7th goal of the season, having dispatched finishes against Paradise FC, Clayton's College Tonic, Notre Dame, and of course he was an ace marksman with goals on 11, 22 and 23 minutes as well. Raheem Sargent playing very well as a midfielder, attacking midfielder, and making his presence felt in the cross zone match number 17.
It's all over, Trav.
That's the final whistle as well. All right, as we were just
I'll let you wrap it all up.
We were just rounding it off there.
And the match is for Sunday.
All right, we needed to get to those. We'll have to have the BFA notify everyone on the regular radio programs as well, and continue to check the Barbados Football Association's website as well, which is www.badsfa.com. That's www.barbadosfa.com during the week for those knockout fixtures coming next weekend. And of course, I was just looking to get the Raheem Sargent hat-trick, which he would have scored against RBC Capital Markets Barbados Soccer Academy. That's the one I was looking for. But tonight, he's also put the ball into the Old Onion bag on the 90th minute And that puts the exclamation mark on this one. 7-1 on the night. And the final whistle, you're watching replays at this point in time, but of course the game now ended and the BDF with a classified result then 7-1. So each match tonight had 8 goals in it. Let's just round them up for you very quickly. Yesterday, the defending champions, Weymouth Wales 2, Scottish Carbental St Andrew Lions 0, Empire Club 3, Clayton Scholar Tonic Notre Dame 1, Crane and Equipment Limited Ellerton 0, Bridenstone United 0, RBC Capital Markets Barbados Soccer Academy 0, Paradise FC 8, UWI Blackbirds 6, Youth Milan 2, and of course tonight, the final game and the final classified result, Mark Auto Spears POREY Spring 1, BDF Sports Program 7, as we watch those replays peeling off in front of us here on Mali Leacock with the finish there and the little jig to go with it as well. 8 goals in every single match this evening. It was a spectacle. 24 goals within 3 matches. This is excellent stuff, and as I said before, compare that to only 3 drawn games, all 3 0-0 drawn games all season long. All other games would have had a score result in some form or fashion. Fabulous stuff from the BFA turf here at Wildy. From me, Trevor Thorne, to the viewing public of Trident 10's coverage of the BFA Premier League for the 2018-2019 season. Good night and God bless on this Easter weekend. And God willing, we will hear you and see you next weekend here on Trident 10. Good night.
Barbados Steel Works, we're more than just steel. Foundation to roof and everything in between. Building or renovating, there is simply no debating. We supply all your construction needs. Visit our store today for a deal. Barbados Steel Works, a name you can trust. Quality material depend on us. Barbados Steel Works, we're more than just steel. Foundation to roof and everything in between. Come to Barbados Steel Works.
This is Kurt Brown, and I love mixing as a DJ and with my go-to drink, Clayton's Cola Tonic. Clayton's mixes with hard or soft. It's your secret and mine what we mix with Clayton's. Change it up depending on the event. I love the energy I get from it to keep me going all night long. Clayton's will know why you're up, and so will I. But your secret is safe. Clayton's Cola Tonic. Take it any way you like.
We are jump-starting summer with the annual Barbados Reggae Festival, April 27th to 30th. 3 massive shows. Buju Banton, The Long Walk to Freedom Tour, April 27th. Buju Banton. Wayne Wonder, Buggy Nikente, and Sprague Benz. The Magnum Explosion Reggae Beach Party, April 28th. Busy Signal. Sizzla. Get to the party! And more. The Vintage Reggae Show and Dance, April 30th. Admiral Tibbet. Splash Band, George Nooks, Mikey Spice, Judy Boucher, DJ Lil Rick, and Barrington Levy. The The Barbados Reggae Festival, April 27th to 30th. A Fast 7-star production.
The fool has never been told.
When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. When we are some Johnny Walker, drinking some fire water. With a bunch in 3-0, brandy or some Johnny Walker. Pick up our drinkers in at this place right now. I got all of the yellow wine while I'm drinking some fire water. Energy got me feeling so high.